my channel. So in the previous tutorial, we're talking about the elements of design, and we've talked about shape, typography, line, texture, color, form. Talked about some of the basic principles of elements of design. So now in this particular video, we'll be talking about the basic principles of design. Now I just want you to know this is not a detailed explanation of the principles of design. It's just an explanation of a brief explanation of it. So now the principles of design suggest how a designer should best arrange the various components of a page layout to ensure the elements of the overall design are actually connected to one another. Now this principle actually guide you making your designs. They make your designs looks better and professional when these principles are well understood and applied. Now the first one I'll be talking about here is balance. So balance is achieved by using visual elements, visual balancing. Achieving visual balance, in graphic design is done by using symmetrical and asymmetrical balance. There are actually 4 types of balance. We have symmetrical, asymmetrical, we have radii, and we have, I think, mosaic balance. But basically we use just these 2 for our designs. I'll just be talking about symmetrical and asymmetrical balance. Now when we were talking about symmetrical balance, what symmetrical balance is, okay, let me just first read this. This is achieved by using balance by balancing the design in weights, meaning shape, lines, and other elements are evenly distributed. So even if the 2 sides of design aren't exactly the same, they have similar elements. Balance is important because it provides a structure of stability in the design. All right, so the next what I will be talking about here is, if you look at this my design in particular, for example, let me just get one design and I will just try to make, okay, let's use this. For example, look at this design. Then let me bring this line. When you use symmetrical balance, you kind of draw in between the design. You check the visual weight of either side, this side and this side. They are actually balanced. If it is you're using the top, this place or this place, so the visual weight of the elements there, either the images or the shape, must all be balanced. That what you have here is also what you have here. It's just like a seesaw. You know, a seesaw. When a child is here, then sitting on the seesaw, you now put a other smaller child of the same weight, the thing will be balanced. But you're now having a bigger child here, and you're having a small child here, and you're now bringing a bigger child. I'm sorry, I'm doing it the wrong way. Okay, you have a smaller child and you're now using side of a bigger one, so the design will not actually be balanced. So this is what we talk about when we talk about symmetrical balance. So on either side, everything must be balanced. Why we talk asymmetrical balance? Now asymmetrical balance, so the elements may not actually be the same size. For example, if you looked at this, you look at this particular one on the side of the design, and you now use about this smaller side. Now if you looked at the weight of this big circle I drew here, it's kind of is overwhelming. It's bigger than this one, but the beauty is that these 3 can still equal the weight of this one, though they are not the same thing, but we can still say they are balanced. Let's see what we're having here. We've talked about symmetrical. Now you see this one is big, this one is kind of small. They are small, so they are not actually the same weight, but we can still say they are balanced. In other words, you can call asymmetrical balance is a kind of balance where you have like the elements, they are not similar on both sides, but you're still having a form of balance. So that's what asymmetrical balance is. Elements on both sides are not equal of size, are not actually equal, but they are actually having the same a kind of balance. All right, so the next one space. Have the positive and the negative. The negative space is also known as white space. Now, space gives your design beauty. When there is enough space in your design, it will be very, very beautiful and simple. You can see this design on the screen. You have enough space there. So the space that elements are not occupying is what we call negative space. Why the one elements are occupying is what we call positive space. Negative space gives your design enough room to breathe and makes it look professional. So if you just go through some designs, you'll see numbers of space there. So the next size is simple. How is simply how small or large something is in design. Size is used as an indication of importance and is also creates visual interest in a design by using contrasting size. So when you in your design, size actually helps in what we call hierarchy. I think I was talking about hierarchy. Okay, is what I'll be talking about next. When the size of this text here shows that this thing is actually important. So because in a design, what is actually more important maintains a bigger size. Okay, so the next is alignment. So we have three types of alignment. Rather, the alignment is in design helps to make your design look cool and look kind of balanced. Now let me show you a particular example of okay, so we have this is for text. Let me just bring in the text. So regardless of the tool you're using, probably Canva, Photoshop or anything, alignment is the same thing, even though in Microsoft Word. So this is alignment here. If it is added by you, this is the left side. You see the entire of that space is smooth, while this right side is rough. Shows us that that element is left aligned. While if it is right aligned, you see the entire of the right side is smooth, while this other side is rough. Shows us that our element is actually right aligned, and you are seeing that the text are actually starting from the side, the part of the alignment. So right, this one center, you see both sides are actually rough. Shows us that this text is centered aligned and justified. See, the both sides are smooth and the text is actually starting from the center. I can also use left justified. See, starting from the left, but both sides are smooth. Right justified, both sides are smooth. So let me show you like okay, let me use a text, this particular design. See, kids summer class, everything just at the center. Show that my text was actually centered aligned, except the Gospel Academy, which was at the right side, and it was actually left aligned. So when you're designing, you can actually use different types of alignment. So it just depends on the one of your choice. So the next one is is hierarchy. Hierarchy is actually used to rank an object in your design based on their level of importance. So you can see this one, there's no hierarchy, everything is the same. But here shows us that there's hierarchy. So when the one that is actually more important is bigger, shows you that this thing is actually important. So hierarchy is actually used to guide your design, is using your design based on the elements based on their level of importance. So it's used to rank design elements and influence in the order you want the user to view it. By using principles like contrast, scale, balance, more, you can help establish elements in right place and help most important elements stand out. So I made a video on focal points, which I'll be uploading very, very soon, which is very, very important to your design. Alright, so focal point helps. So repetition actually makes your design looks cool, because in every design you're actually repeating. Like this ebook now, you see that there's a repetition of color. See this gold, and white and black. Makes your design looks cool. So every design actually has, let's just make use of okay, but in this design you see actually replicated black, the color black in the text and also in the shapes, in the lines. It makes my design looks cool and professional. So that's one thing about repetition. It's going to make your work look professional and very, very cool. So not only color, you can also repeat a shape, you can repeat a style. Like you can see, this one is actually a white shape. This is white shapes. It makes your design looks cool. So contrast is actually the difference between two elements in your design, but it is mainly used for color. Color treasures that. So contrast help in maintaining hierarchy, showing that this one is more important than the other. So using contrast allow you to stress the difference between elements, ultimately highlighting the key element of your design that you want to stand out. So for example, now there's a contrast here and the remaining text. This one here is bold and the color is different and also is bigger, shows you that this one is actually more important. So the contrast between this element, that this one is actually having the different color and also having different size. It's actually using complementary colors and the like. So we've come to the end of this tutorial. Types of graphic designers you can go through it, but for now we're just talking about principles of design. Alright, so we see in the next tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe. Help me by subscribing, it helps me a lot. Alright, so we see in the next video.